renovation. And they're what I kind of call semi-custom houses. This particular style, it's a Tudor one, just some general updates inside the property. So let's just take a quick little look at the photos of this one. It is a lot of carpet throughout the property, and the kitchen cabinets being a little dated on the inside of this home. Overall, in decent shape, just needs a little bit of updating. I can tell the baths were updated a little bit in the recent years. But again, not a major renovation by any means. Overall, a pretty easy clean up, fix up, and get this home back on the market. So we're looking at this as a buy, fix, and sell property. So let's get back and look at some of the numbers real quick on this home. This particular property, 811 Ambria Drive in Mundelein. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. Here's the thing it says 4,243 square feet. I got to remember, in the multiple listing service, it doesn't always mean that's what it is. You got to kind of dive in deep. And I think that's where realtors really do come into play to kind of help out and figure out what it really is. This house is not 4,200 square feet. It's around 3,300 square feet. So again, on the MLS, anybody can pretty much post whatever they want for square footage and put approximate in there, and that's what it is. So a little scary. You want to kind of dive in a little bit deeper, and that's something that we obviously do on every property, is make sure that all the numbers are checking out. So we got a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. It's around 3,300 square feet. This one, as we scroll down a little bit further, it is 5 beds, 3 baths. It has a 3-car garage. It's a 2-story. It's built in 1993. So we've got a newer construction property, as you can see from the photos. Not a major renovation by any means. So now as we scroll a little bit further down, let's take a quick peek at some of the comparable sales within the area. Who are we going to be, one, competing with, and homes that have recently sold, who are our best comps, essentially. So let's take a look at some of the sold properties that are in the area here recently. We've got a property that's over on Hazelnut. This one is a property, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath at 3,400 square feet, so likely a little bit larger than the subject property. This one is that 4 beds, 3 baths. It does have a 3-car garage, 2-story, built in 2005. This one took 39 days to sell. So this is a good comp. This is a property we want to pay a close attention to. It's located very close to the subject. Looks like a very similar design and style inside the home. So again, another real good comp to look at. This one sold for $454. Let's go ahead and close that one down. Let's take a look at another sale that's in the area. Here's a property that's over on Magnolia. Let's see if we can find anything that would be almost a similar look here. There's one. Let's look at a lower sale right in the neighborhood. So we've got a property that's very close to us. Now this one's got a little bit more of that cookie cutter feel to it. Let's look at some of the specs on this one. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. So it's one less car garage. And the square footage on this one, again, the square footage says 3,600 square feet on part of it, but it's really 2,470 square feet. That's the total square footage of the property. So this one's about 1,000 square feet smaller, a block away from the subject property, only a 2-car garage. The exterior of the property is obviously lesser than the subject property. So on this property, we would have to do some substantial adjustments. I mean, we don't want to use a property that really is a lot different. But if it's in the same neighborhood, you can obviously do some adjustments for it. So if we've got a 3-car garage, we'll adjust for that. The design and style on the exterior, we'll adjust for that. And then square footage, we can adjust for that as well. So on a property like this particular property, if I was to make adjustments to the home, this would probably bring the property right around $440,000 with adjustments. The other property that we looked at that was a comp. That one had sold for $454,000, which was really very, very similar to the subject property all the way around. Um, and then let's take a look at something. Let's see if there's something that's just right under contract in the general area. And we can take a look at one that's under contract here. This one is a property at 1149 Timber Pass Drive, under contract for $495,000. Now, this seems way out there price wise. So, based on the other comparable sales that we have in the neighborhood, this one's up there. But let's take a look at some of the specs. So, 3,437 square feet. The price of this property is under contract at $495. So again, under contract doesn't mean it closed. So it will have sold for lesser than the $495. 4 beds, 3 baths, 3-car garage, same as the subject. Built in 2005, and it was under contract within 63 days. So again, another property we want to look at, but I don't think this one's kind of an outlier at this price. This is most of the properties are kind of falling in the mid fours. So to look at the numbers on this particular property, what I want to be able to buy this property for, on this particular one, it says 328 inactive. Don't worry about that. If we can get this property for $250K, and then the renovation on this property, we're going to have, based on the size of the house, I'm going to say right around $70K to renovate it. It's got a pool, an in-ground pool in the backyard, so likely it could possibly need a liner and some work and things like that. So I like to budget $5,000 or $6,000 for kind of pool repairs, because it's a nice looking pool and there's no photos of it on here. And I'm going to pin this property at around $450,000. I'm going to be pretty darn close. It might be plus or minus just a little bit. So on a property like this, looking at it with a buy price of $250, a sales price of around $450, and around $70,000 worth of renovation, this should leave an investor with close to $70,000 profit. That's a decent deal all the way around in a nice area where there's a lot of activity and action going on. So I'd say try to get yourself positioned in these areas where properties are moving. And again, this is a cosmetic rehab. So what I love about these is we're spending and deploying all our energy in the cosmetics, not in the stuff behind the walls that a consumer may never see. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to fix something that needs to get fixed. We absolutely will. But if we don't need to, and we can focus in on the kitchen or focus in on painting trim and things like that, that's going to end up ultimately netting us more dollars. So this one, hands down, again, another check. This is a good play, 811 Cambria Drive. If you have any questions on this property, reach out to us. Again, we have this property, and we have a bunch more that are always coming in every single day. So we have a good inventory of properties, and we'd love to talk to you about what we've got. And always check out